My girlfriend threw away the ring I gave her as a proposal during her family's dinner. You're cheap and sad. I stepped out, leveled up, and karma took care of the rest. Okay, Reddit. I asked my fiancée to marry me at her family's dinner, thinking I would spend the rest of my life with her. But instead, she had other ideas that showed me who she really was. She flung the engagement ring across the room and made me seem bad in front of her parents. So, I left and stopped talking to them. And karma. Oh boy, get your popcorn ready. I'm a 33-year-old man named Adam. I've been working with wrenches for 12 years. I have my own store in Columbus, Ohio. No matter what comes in, we can do anything from simple oil changes to extensive restorations. Tessa, my girlfriend, was 31 years old and worked as a senior account manager at a commercial real estate company. She always seemed like she was going to make $1 million transaction. We had been together for 3 years and a half. She had been throwing signals about getting married for a long time, like flashing me rings on Instagram and chatting to her friends about wedding sites. So yeah, I thought it was time. For 6 months, I saved up, paid $4,800 for a ring. 1 carat of white gold from a real jeweler, not a mall kiosk. Nice ring. Had this big idea to pop the question at a fancy downtown restaurant. Then Karen, her mom, says she's going to have a big family supper. Tessa always telling me how crucial it is that I make a good impression. Red flag number 1. I had already met these people a dozen times. I'm getting ready for dinner day. I got a new suit. I went to Men's Warehouse, got fitted, and spent $600 I didn't have. Tessa has been saying things like, "You need to dress better around my family." I picked her up at her house. I had been helping her pay for this wonderful apartment complex, even though my name wasn't on the lease. She wrinkles her nose when she sees me. Is the suit brand new? Yes. She shakes it off with a smile. Since you've been telling me to dress better. It's time for us to go. Don't want to be late. That's cool. Good beginning. It takes 30 minutes to go to her folks' house in Upper Arlington. A big house in the style of a colonial. The lawn looks like it was cut with scissors. Edwards, her dad, is an executive in a logistics company. Her mom doesn't work, yet she runs her charity board like it's a Fortune 500 company. They were usually friendly to me in front of me, but I could tell they were judging me. Dinner was the same as always. Fancy layout with several courses. Derek, her brother-in-law and a cardiologist, enthused about his new yacht. Michelle, her sister, showed off pictures from their trip to the Bahamas. Tyler, who is 26 and still lives at home while figuring things out, talked about his investments. I didn't say much, used the appropriate fork, kept my elbows off the table, and smiled when I was supposed to. The ring box was making my jacket pocket hot. I was going to do it after dessert. Tessa's mom starts asking about our intentions as we're eating dessert. I saw my chance and my pulse raced. Stand up, your legs are shaking. Take the box with the ring out of my pocket. Tessa's eyes became big. Her mother gasps. Kneel down right there. Take the box out. The light hits the diamond. I began my speech by talking about how great the last 3.5 years had been. How gorgeous and knowledgeable she is. How I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. I asked her to marry me. The quiet seemed to last forever. Tessa merely looks at the ring. Her face moves from astonished to bewildered to disgusted. Are you really serious? I'm not sure what to do. Yes, I love you. Will you? She gestures at the ring like I just gave her a dead fish. What is that? The jeweler downtown made it out of 1 carat white gold. 1 carat. She says it over and over again, as if I just insulted her whole family. 3 carats make up Michelle's ring. Ashley, my friend, got 2.5. And you thought you could propose with only 1? I'm still on 1 knee. Everyone is looking. Tessa, it's all I could afford. And that's when she really let go. What could you afford, Adam? You work as a mechanic. You do CS work. Do you know what it's like to tell folks that my guy works on transmissions for a living? Her dad tries to get in. Tessa, that's not no, Dad. This is what he needs to hear. Now she's standing up and her voice is becoming louder. I've been waiting for you to get your act together for 3 years. Make something of your life. Be someone I could really be proud of. I'm stuck, remaining on one knee like a fool. And you thought a small ring at a family meal would be enough? Adam, this is sad. You are cheap and sad. She takes the ring box from my hand, takes the ring off and throws it across the room. It hits the wall and then vanishes behind her dad's liquor cabinet. Tessa! Her mom gasps. But she's not done. I'm not going to marry a mechanic. I don't want to spend my life worrying about money, driving old cars, or living in a small house. My pals are marrying physicians, lawyers, and business people. Michelle is married to a heart doctor. And you want me to marry someone who works on cars? She wasn't finished. The words kept coming. You don't have any goals. You're okay with being average and running your small garage and fixing your small autos. You will never be better than you are now, and I deserve better. Something clicked. I didn't say anything for a minute. Then I looked at her. Looked at her closely. You're completely right. She blinked. I didn't see that coming. You deserve more. I do too. I walked over to the liquor cabinet, went down on my hands and knees, found the ring, put it back in the box, slid it into my pocket, straightened up, and brushed off my pants. Thanks for supper, Karen Edward. It was nice. I looked across at Michelle and Derek. Always a delight. Good luck with the crypto, Tyler. Started to walk to the door. Where are you going, Adam? I paused and turned around one last time. I'm going to look for someone who doesn't think I'm a useless piece of junk. Come on. You're being over the top. Am I? You just hurled my engagement ring at a wall. Be quiet. Tessa, do you know what's funny? You just gave me the biggest favor ever. You showed me exactly who you are before I made a mistake. I looked at her mom and dad. Thanks for raising someone who puts money ahead of character. That was a close call. Went to my truck, got in and drove away. I could hear her calling my name behind me, but I didn't turn around. I drove straight to my friend Cole's house. He looks at my face and doesn't even ask. Gives me a drink and then waits. I told him everything. He is quiet for a while. At that point, he starts to laugh. You bought a $5,000 ring, got fitted for a suit, traveled to her parents' estate, and proposed. Now she believes you're the one who doesn't have standards. Yeah, she lost. But it was going to be a lot greater than she expected. I woke up on Cole's couch on Sunday morning with a terrible headache and over 90 missed calls. Tessa called 34 times. Her mom phoned 8 times. And even her sister called twice. The texts took me through the 5 stages of denial. It started with her asking where I was and stating we should talk like adults. Then it changed to me being foolish and her being caught off guard. Then she guilt-tripped me for leaving her and finally called me pitiful for walking out and humiliating her. Got rid of all of them. Blocked her phone number. I blocked her on all of my social media accounts. Finished. Cole made eggs and coffee. He's been my best friend since high school, by the way. Now he works as a contractor. Big guy. As blunt as possible. Too loyal. So what do you want to do? He asked. Go ahead. Pay attention to the store. Don't think about her. He leans back and smiles. No way, man. Think on a larger scale. How much bigger? She thinks you're a loser who doesn't want anything, right? Show her she's wrong. Make her wish she had never said anything. He made a good argument. For years, I had been holding back to be what she desired. The store was doing well, but I never actually put any money into it. Never grew. I never went after the high-paying jobs that I knew I could do. Cole explained it. Grow the business. Get another mechanic. Get better tools. Start working full-time on restoration assignments. Write down everything. Make an Instagram account for the store. Make a name for yourself. Let her see you do well without her. That's the best way to get back at someone. Also, I knew something she didn't. The store that sold the ring offered a 30-day return policy. That means $4,800 is going directly back into my pocket. I'm at the shop early on Monday morning. There wasn't a lot of room at Collins Auto Repair. It had 2 bays, a little office, and a waiting area that required some work, but it was mine. I bought it 3 years ago from the man who taught me how to use it. The place has promise. Logan was already there working on a municipal project. We hired him approximately a year ago, right after he finished tech school. Kids, 24, eager, and a hard worker. Looks up when I enter. I heard your weekend wasn't great. Who told you? Your ex called the store on Saturday night to ask for you. I told you I didn't know where you were. She said I was lying and then hung up. She did, of course. Sorry about that. Don't be. She sounded crazy. Kid is smart. That day was spent creating a plan. I called the jeweler and asked if I could return the ring. I made a list of upgrades to my equipment that I had been putting off. Looked up the prices of paint booths. Looked about getting a loan for a frame machine. I went back to my flat that night, had the landlord change the locks, and found a lot of Tessa's things lying around. I packed them all up and took pictures just in case. Her issue currently. She comes to the store on Tuesday morning. Logan comes back looking uncomfortable while I'm beneath a Tahoe completing a transmission flush. Your ex is here. Let her know I'm busy. I did. She claims it's important. Tell her I don't care if she's burning. I have a lot to do. Logan goes back outside. Can hear her voice getting louder. Then she's in the garage, her heels clicking on the concrete. We need to discuss, Adam. I roll back under the Tahoe. No, we don't. You're acting like a kid. I roll back out, rise up, and pick up a shop rag. No, Tessa, we don't need to discuss. Leave this place. I'm busy. She attempts to go back. Fine. All right. I wasn't ready for it. You should have talked to me about proposing first. That's not how proposals work. You know, the thing you've been hinting at for 3 years. I just have high standards and expectations. Yes, I saw. This is the thing. I lean on the Tahoe. I put your things in boxes. I'm dropping it off tonight. That's it. Don't call. Don't stop by. Don't get in touch with me. You can't just throw away 3 years because of one terrible night. Look at me. Her face changes to look really angry. Okay, you want to get rid of 3 years? Go ahead. But don't come to me crying when you understand what you lost. I won't. She stares for one more second before leaving. Logan whistles as he watches her drive away. That felt good. Truly was. But I wasn't done yet. Not even close. 2 weeks after the disastrous dinner, everything in my life changed. The first thing I did was give back that ring. I went to the jeweler on Tuesday afternoon and told him what was going on. The jeweler really felt bad for me. I got my $4,800 back, plus $3,000 more that I had saved for the wedding. Bought a professional-grade paint gun setup, alignment machine, and diagnostic scanner. The rest went to the parts inventory. But the biggest shift was in my mind. No longer playing tiny. I began to say yes to jobs that I had previously turned down. Restoration of classic cars. Bring it. Rebuilds of the whole engine. Let's go. Custom work? Of course. Word got around quickly. I completely restored a 1970 Chevelle for a guy who owns a pub in the area. He put images on Facebook and tagged the store on them. I suddenly got 3 additional calls from classic car owners. We did a paint correction and detail on a brand new Corvette for a lawyer, who then referred his whole firm our way. Started that Instagram Cole told me to. Put up pictures of the builds before and after as well as close-ups. In the first week, you got 200 followers. Then you got 500 and then 1,000. People appreciated seeing how things were going. 3 weeks later, they hired a second mechanic named Tony. He was 38 years old, had worked at a dealership for 15 years, and was sick of corporate crap. Knew more about European vehicles than anyone else I'd met. He brought his own customers with him. Now it's just Tony, Logan, and me. The money started coming in. Profit in real life. I paid off my truck. Paid off the last loan for shop tools ahead of schedule. I started saving money, and that made me feel wonderful. Woke up excited to go to work. Stayed late because I wanted to, not because I had to. Lost 15 pounds. Stress weight. Cole dropped by one Saturday morning with coffee and donuts. Watched me working on a classic Bronco restoration. You look different. Happier. Yes, I am. I heard from someone that Tessa has been inquiring about you. Oh yeah, my girlfriend knows her sister. Apparently Tess has been watching your Instagram. Sees the shop doing nicely. Might be having regrets. Too awful. Way too late. That afternoon, Ashley, Tessa's buddy, sent me a DM on Instagram. Hey, I know things didn't end well between you and Tessa, but I wanted to bring my husband's Audi in for repairs. I heard good things. I looked at that message for a minute, but business is business. Sure, shop hours are on the profile. Ashley arrives up Monday morning with her hubby. Some finance guy named Brett driving an A7. Nice vehicle. Needed full service. They really seem to like the store. Ashley looks around shocked. Tessa always made it sound like you worked out of someone's garage or something. But this is incredibly professional. She saw what she wanted to see. I'm beginning to understand that they left the automobile and came back 3 days later. Brett is very happy with the work and paid full price, plus a $100 gratuity. Ashley took pictures, shared them on Instagram, and tagged the shop. Tessa commented within an hour. Something passive antagonistic about my being occupied with my small garage. Ashley answered, "It's actually really impressive and professional. You should see it." Screenshot that. Sent it to Cole. He replied back laughing emoticons. The true kicker came Friday night at a bar with Cole and other pals watching the game when I hear a familiar voice behind me. Adam Collins. Not a chance. Turned around. Sandra from school. I hadn't seen her in approximately 10 years. Looked fantastic. Confident. Turns out she just came back to Columbus, operating a marketing agency downtown. Prosperous, independent, truly impressed when I told I owned Collins Auto Repair. "I follow your Instagram. That Cheval restoration was wild." We talked for an hour in the end. She was amusing, easy to chat to, and really interested in the work. She gave me her card when she went. "We should grab coffee sometime, maybe cooperate on marketing stuff." Cole elbowed me when she walked away. "She's into you." "Stop. She's just being friendly. You were flirting. You just need to practice more." "Cole, be quiet." But he might have been right. Sent Sandra a text the next morning. Set up coffee for Tuesday. I was building and it was about to get more exciting. Coffee with Sandra led into dinner. Dinner went into her hiring me to work on her Subaru WRX. Working on her car turned into her introducing me to half her network of young professionals who all drove great cars and had money to maintain them. Right? Collins's Auto Repair became the place to be for professionals in Columbus under 40 within a month. Lawyers, physicians, techies, and business owners all brought cars because Sandra told us to. Instagram grew from 1,000 to 5,500 followers. The business was doing well. They hired a third mechanic just to keep up. Chris, a guy in his mid-20s, was an expert in imports. We now had 4 workers working in the bays. After that, Sandra and I went out. Yes, I know. Cole was right. First, nothing too serious. In every way that mattered, she was not like Tessa. Thought the shop was cool. Asked questions concerning the work. Never once made me feel like I wasn't good enough. 2 months after the catastrophic meal, Cole called with some interesting news. Tessa was moved down. How do you know? My girlfriend works in the same building as I do. Tessa missed a big deal deadline, lost a client, and was demoted from senior account manager to normal account manager with a pay decrease and everything. I should have felt bad. Nope. Oh, and she's trying to end her Lexus lease early, but the fees are terrible. I can't pay for it anymore. I put a picture on Instagram that same week. Sandra and I are standing in front of a 1969 Camaro that I just completed fixing up. Full repair. Sold it to a collector in Chicago for $68,000. Sandra has her arm around me in the picture. We both smiled. There were 2,000 likes on that post. The comments were crazy. Goals for your relationship. That automobile is on fire. You two look good together. Tessa saw it. No, because Ashley texted me to let me know that Tessa was going crazy. I've been crying all night. She said she might get in touch. That night, I did get a message request from a fresh account. Tessa, clearly attempting to get past the block, asked if we could please chat. She stated she had made a horrible mistake, missed me, saw what I was doing with the shop, and was so proud. I took a screenshot of it and sent it to Cole, but he didn't respond. Over the next hour, she sent 3 more texts. Each one was more desperate. The last one wanted to know if the picture was of my girlfriend. Said she wasn't even that good looking. She asked me if I was truly going to throw away what we had for her. Also blocked that account. Something intriguing happened on Monday. Logan came back and seemed uneasy. Tessa's mom is here. I went outside to the waiting area. Karen is standing there looking a lot less put together than she did at dinner. No makeup and casual clothes made her look exhausted. Thank you for coming to see me, Adam. How may I help you, Karen? I'm sorry for what happened during dinner. Tessa was wrong. We should have stopped her. Acknowledged apology. Anything else? She glances around the store. You've done well for yourself. Thanks. Then the true reason. Tessa has been going through a lot of trouble recently. I know she did something wrong. A large one. Would you think about it again? I respect you, Karen, but your daughter made me seem bad in front of your whole family because I'm a mechanic. You can't go back from that. She was afraid of making a commitment and being dependent. That's a problem she needs to deal with, not me. She tries to explain that Tessa is terrified of being dependent and is transferring her concerns onto her. I know she's having a hard time, but I've known her for almost 3 years. Someone who doesn't respect hard labor, who cares more about how things look than how they are, and who only sees worth once it's gone. Karen nodded slowly. You are correct. I just wanted to give it a shot. After that, she left. Sandra stopped by that night after I closed. I told her that Karen had come over. She's freaking out, seeing you do well and knowing she made a mistake. What are you going to do? Nothing. Keep building, that's all. Sandra smiled. Next week, come with me to this event for business networking. Why? It's in the city center. A lot of professionals. Tessa's business will be there. Event that is open. That seems small. It's not fair, but it's also fair. Had a point. Said yes to going. The next Thursday was the networking event. Put on my best outfit. Sandra looked amazing in a black outfit. Walked in together. She was familiar with half of the room. He said my name was Adam Collins and that I operate Collins's Auto Repair. I had been there for about 20 minutes when I noticed her. Tessa is standing by the snack table with her coworkers. She seemed exhausted. She looked at me. Her face turned pale. I looked at Sandra next to me, then back at her. I saw her make an excuse and start going over. Sandra squeezed my arm. Tessa halted a few feet away. She looked awful up close. Makeup makes dark circles. Hey, Adam. Hey. Silence that is uncomfortable. I didn't know you were coming. Sandra asked me to come. Chance to network. She stares at Sandra. Tries to say hello. I'm the ex-girlfriend of Tessa. Adam looked at Sandra. This is my girlfriend Sandra. Tessa's phony smile broke. Sandra puts out her hand. It's nice to meet you. Adam informed me about you. I understand. Again silence. So, how's your job going? I keep my voice low-key. She is lying. It's all right. A lot going on. That's great. I heard you got demoted, but I wasn't sure whether it was true. Her face is twitching. The store is doing well. In fact, it will grow soon. Thinking about buying the unit next door. That's great. I'm glad for you. Thanks. Yes, things really got going when I stopped. Well, you know she knows. We should get drinks together sometime. Ashley and Brett, who are friends of mine, came to the store and said it was fantastic. Her face moved again. She muttered something about maybe telling her to go back to work with her coworkers. Tessa, it was nice to see you. She almost ran back to her friends. Sandra waited until Tessa couldn't hear her. That was hard. Too much? Nope. Great. She deserved it. Staying for another hour. Made good links. Sandra set me up with a real estate developer who wanted help with their fleet. Tessa was observing from the other side of the room. Going away. I looked at Instagram. 30 minutes ago, Tessa tweeted a sad quote that wasn't really clear. You don't know how much you have until it's gone. Cole said something. Don't chuck engagement rings, then. Drove back to my house. Things were going well, but they weren't over yet. Not even close. A month after the networking event, Tessa made her big move. It went horribly wrong. It all started with a review on Google. 1 star. Posted with a bogus name, but it's clear that it's her. Said the service was horrible. Car got scratched. Owner who isn't professional. The works. Totally made up. I saw it the morning it went up. Showed Logan and Tony. We all laughed because it was clear that it was bogus. Responded in public by asking for proof of service. I took screenshots of everything. Took a brief look at our CRM activity report and filed a dispute with Google about their business profile under their user-contributed content policy. Fake, misleading, and planned things. Attached is our work order list, which shows that none of those cars were here. She didn't say anything. 3 additional bogus reviews showed up 2 days later. All of them gave 1 star and said the service was bad and the cars were broken. It was clear that they were all working together. This was a real problem. We got 4.9 stars from more than 100 real reviews. We went down to 4.5 because of these fakes. That's bad for a business that depends on its reputation. But this is where Tessa messed up. Used a VPN and bogus emails but didn't change the way they wrote. The wording and comments in all 4 reviews were very identical. I called a friend who works there and asked him to look into the reviews. He called me back the same day. All 4 reviews originated from computers that were connected to the same residential building. Which one? The building that Tessa owns. Bingo. Sent me a comprehensive report. Timestamps, IP addresses, and everything else are written down. I went straight to Google with that. Sent in a complaint. 3 days later, all 4 false reviews were taken off. Not stopping there. I posted about it on Instagram but didn't name names. Just made it evident that a competitor tried to hurt our reputation by posting bogus reviews. Caught. All phony reviews have been taken down. Added. We stand by our work and always keep receipts. The post went viral. 3,000 people liked it. The comments were brutal. People are asking who would try to ruin a little business like that. Ashley sent a text. Was that Tessa? I don't know. It was absolutely her. Your Instagram has been driving her crazy. Not doing well with stuff. 2 days later, there was another move. The landlord contacted to report that another renter had made a bizarre complaint about me. People have complained about the noise I make when working on cars in the parking lot at night. Complete rubbish. I know it's junk, Adam. You never fix automobiles in the parking lot. Who put it in? Someone who isn't even in the building. The address is completely wrong. The name on the complaint was Tessa Price. It's okay. Just wanted to let you know. Thanks for it. Tessa was getting worse, and I hadn't even done anything. Just lived her life while she fell apart. She made her biggest mistake that weekend. Came to the store on Saturday afternoon. I'm fixing up a Porsche 911. A collector's job worth $45,000. Sandra was also in the office working. Tessa went into the garage. Rolled out from under the Porsche. Saw her standing there in pants and a sweatshirt, looking bad. We need to have a chat. No, go away. Please, Adam. 5 minutes. You wrote phony reviews of my store. Called my landlord and made up complaints. Been following me on Instagram. There's nothing to say. Face turned red. No, I didn't. Don't. I have evidence. Don't lie to us both. Began to cry. Tears that are real. I'm sorry. I've been a wreck. I'm not hungry. I can't sleep. I didn't get the promotion. I'm about to lose my place to live. I miss you and everything is coming apart. I miss us. There isn't a us. You used me and looked down on me till you discovered something better. Then I had the nerve to ask you to marry me, and you made me seem bad. I understand. I loathe myself for it. Please let us start afresh. Sandra stood in the doorway of the office with her arms crossed and watched. Tessa spotted her. Expression became hard. The tears ceased. Is this because of her? You're tossing away 3 years because of a rebound? You already got rid of it. You're just mad because I'm doing better without you now. She looked at Sandra. You're not even that good looking. What do you have that I don't? Sandra didn't miss a beat. Respect for him and self-respect. Tessa lost it. She started yelling that I was nothing without her. Why I will always be a loser. How she was the best thing that ever happened to me. A full meltdown. Tony walked out of the other bay, looked around, and then quietly got out his phone and started recording. You have to go right now or I'll contact the police. You wouldn't. I would definitely do that. You are on someone else's property. She shook and cried for a little while longer before finally leaving. She sped out of the parking lot, tires screeching. Tony held on to the footage. Put a video to Instagram stories. Only the part where she screams at me for being a bad mechanic. Sandra is standing still in the backdrop. A caption for when someone can't handle your achievement. Did not tag anyone. In 2 hours, it got 10,000 views. Monday a.m. Tessa's boss at the real estate company called. There is a guy named Richard. Mr. Collins. I'm calling about something that happened over the weekend. We witnessed some worrying conduct on social media. Can you check to see if Tessa Price came to your business and made a scene? Yes, sir. I have a video. Can you transmit that to me? We're doing an evaluation of our own. Gave him the whole video. He called back after 20 minutes. Thanks. We are quite serious about this. Ashley texted 2 days later. Tessa lost her job. Cried in her boss's office. Tried to make sense of the video. Had a breakdown in the end. They let her go. She's going back to live with her folks. Things were going wrong for her. But she had one more move to make, and this one would end it for good. Tessa's life had become a warning story 6 weeks after the store incident. In early October, her sister Michelle called me one night. We had always gotten along well. Adam, I know you probably don't want to hear from me. Hey, Michelle. It's about Tessa. I know you don't have to do anything for her, but I'm worried about her. I'm really worried. I told her I was listening. She talked. Tessa went back to live with their parents. Sad and hardly ever leaves her room. She has been looking for employment, but firms always turn her down after checking her references. People talk about things in the field. Last week, Total her Civic ran a red light. Not wounded, but the car is gone. Michelle, I'm sorry she's having a hard time, but I can't help her. I understand. I'm not asking you to go back with her. No way. I just wanted you to know that she struck rock bottom. She always talks about how she ruined the best relationship she ever had with you. We hung up and told Sandra about the call later. Do you feel bad? A little, but not enough to change anything. That's good. Tessa made her bed more than once. The Columbus Auto Show was the next weekend. Put in the 1969 Camaro that I had fixed up. Complete restoration of the frame. Won the Best in Show award for restorations. A $5,000 award and a lot of attention. I was interviewed by the local news. Columbus Magazine wants to write an article about the store. Local mechanic starts the business of his dreams. On a high. In 4 months, the store's sales doubled. Got a 4th mechanic. I signed a lease on the unit next door. Sandra and I were getting serious. Life was amazing, no doubt about it. Then Tessa sent me an email. Line of subject. Please read this. I should have erased it, but I was too curious. Opened it. A long apology. She said she doesn't expect to be forgiven. That night, she freaked out about more than just the ring or my work. Was about her. She was afraid. She let her parents' ideas about who she should marry get to her. Said I was everything she needed, but she was too blind to realize it. She knows she harmed me and ruined us. She knows she doesn't deserve another opportunity. But she wanted me to know that she committed the biggest mistake of her life. She says she's sorry for everything. I hope I can forgive her one day. Read it 2 times. Showed Cole. That's kind of real, actually. Yes, real. My butt. I don't care. I like you for that reason. Sent back 1 message. Thanks for saying sorry, Tessa. But you really showed me who you are. I'm not mad anymore. I'm just glad you turned down that offer before I committed the biggest mistake of my life. I hope you find what you're looking for, but it won't be with me. I sent it, banned her email, and that's all. 2 days later, I got a call from a number I didn't know. Answered out of habit, then started breathing heavily and crying. Someone else's phone rang and it was her. I'm sorry, Adam. I got your email. Please let me see you. One talk in person. Then I'll never bother you again. I swear. He sighed. Okay. One talk at the store tomorrow at noon. No more than 30 minutes. That's all. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Sandra was not happy. Why are you giving her anything? You shouldn't spend time with her. I need to tell her one last time in person. It will be done then. You're a better person than I am. I'm just weary of this hanging over everything. Tessa came over the next day at noon, exactly, and looked dreadful. She sat in my office with the door open, and Logan and Tony were working nearby. Thanks for meeting with me. You have half an hour. Speak your mind. She took a hesitant breath and began to talk about treatment, how her therapist helped her learn things about herself, and how she linked her self-worth to how other people saw her. Sure, anything. She went on and on about how she was wrong about everything, that I was honest, hard-working, and devoted, and that she was too shallow. Then she asked, "Is there any chance we could try again? Start over? I'm different now." Nope. She flinched. You didn't change. You just lost everything and are now looking for someone to save you. 6 months ago, if I'd offered you $1 million, you would have said yes. But I came with honest work and a good heart, and you threw it in my face. She tried to argue, but I stopped her. You don't want me. While you were looking for something greater, you missed the security I gave you. I know since you didn't say sorry after supper. I didn't know you were wrong when I moved out. I didn't feel bad about it when I started to do well. You only started talking to me after you spotted me with someone else. That's not love. That's very bad that your safety net is gone. She's crying right now. Crying a much. I'm just telling the truth. You need to improve yourself. Find out how much you are worth. Make a life that makes you happy. But you won't do it with me. We're finished. I love you. No, you like the thought of not being alone. There is a distinction. She cried for another minute before getting up and wiping her eyes. I hope you're content. I hope Sandra is nicer to you than I was. I am, and she does. Bye, Tessa. She went away. Saw her get into her mother's car. They left in their car. Not here. At last. Gone for real. 10 minutes later, Cole called. How did it go? It's done. This time for sure. How are you doing? I did, and I was free. 3 months after that last talk, things came full circle in a way I never would have thought possible. By the middle of January, the store had grown. Collins's vehicle repair shop was now officially called Collins's Auto Works. For bays now, a separate paint booth, and a customer lounge that didn't look like a DMV waiting area. The business has grown to 7 staff. There were 15,000 followers on Instagram. We moved in together, Sandra and I. A real relationship means a real future. Found a good spot. She encouraged me to think greater and dream bigger, but she never made me feel like what I did wasn't enough. I got a call one afternoon from an unknown number. While I was working on a Tesla Model S, I answered the phone. The man said his name was Edward Price. Adam, Tessa's father, I'm sorry for what happened at that meal. Karen told me everything that had happened, from the reviews to the stalker. We didn't raise Tessa that way. Thanks for that. But most importantly, I want to say thank you. He told me to thank him. I said what I did, walked away with my head held high, and built my life without her. That taught Tessa a lesson that they could never teach her. She had been getting by for years, using individuals as stepping stones. They never had to deal with real repercussions until I came along. She said she's really working on herself. She obtained a job at a smaller company, moved into her own apartment, and is learning how to be a person. I just wanted to let you know that you handled everything with more class than most men would have. You could have ruined her reputation, but instead you moved on and did well. That said a lot about who you are. We talked for a few more minutes. He asked about the store and appeared like he really wanted to know. He said he'd bring his automobiles by if he ever needed work done. We hung up on good terms. The Columbus Business Awards were that weekend. Sandra's marketing company was nominated for Best Small Business on the Rise. Put on some nice clothes. We made a good couple. The event took place in the convention center. A lot of people and a nice setup. Sandra's company came in first in their group. Really proud of her. I was at the refreshment table buying drinks and talking to others when I heard a voice behind me. He turned around. Tessa. She was not the same. Looked normal. Tessa. Hey, I wasn't sure if you'd come. Saw Collins's Auto Works was nominated for the Rising Business of the Year award. Yeah, I didn't win, but getting nominated was amazing. You should have won. Your store is amazing. Silence that is awkward. How are you? Better. In fact, better. She said that she currently works for a smaller company. Nothing fancy about commercial leasing. She worked to pay for her own apartment in Clintonville. She said she's been going to therapy to work on things. How are your family? Michelle and Derek are doing well. Tyler eventually left. Parents are handling it. She stopped. Your dad called you. He did that last week. He was upset about everything. Sandra came over to me, put her arm in mine, and introduced them the right way this time. They shook hands with each other. Polite and grown up. Tessa told Sandra's company that they did a great job winning. Sandra responded thank you and that she heard Tessa was doing well in her new job. Small steps, but steps forward, Tessa remarked. We stood there for a bit. I need to leave. I just wanted to say hello. I'm delighted you're feeling good. You both deserve it. She left before I could say anything. Sandra saw her leave. That was very grown up. Yes, people can change if they really want to. Sandra asked me on the way home if I ever regretted how it all went down. I thought of the supper and the ring striking the wall a few months later. No, if Tessa said yes that night, I'd be married to someone who felt I was worthless. I would have spent years trying to be someone else. Instead, I'm running a profitable business that I'm proud of, dating someone who appreciates me, and living life on my own terms. Collins's Autoworks would get a contract with a high-end dealership 6 months later. A year later, we would open a second store. 2 years later, I would ask Sandra to marry me with a ring I could afford. And she'd say yes without even looking at how big the carrot was. But that morning, while I was sitting in my garage with my closest friend and a cup of coffee, gazing at the business I'd built from the ground up, that was enough. There was one thing Tessa was right about at that supper. I didn't want to be what she wanted me to be. She wanted someone to pay for her way of life. I had goals, but they weren't the same as hers. I wanted to construct something with my own hands, make something that would stay, earn respect instead of demanding it, and be with someone who saw my worth without me having to prove it every day. And that changed everything. The door to the store opened. The first customer of the day was a man with a classic Mustang that needed some maintenance done on it. Let's take a look at what we have. Life was good. This new hype feature recently came out on YouTube. If you can't get enough of this story, hit the hype button. It tells YouTube, this video should go viral, and it keeps sending you crazier stories.